G'day everyone, welcome back to another Fantasy and SuperCoach review video on the channel. Going to be going over my teams from the end of round 8, and thank goodness that round is over. It was a crazy one, with a lot of unfortunate carnage and injuries and primo players going down, a lot of poor scores. And yeah, a lot of coaches, of course, would have copped quite a bit of it. So hopefully all you lot went well, but we'll kick it off with my fantasy first. And SuperCoach is looking better. Fantasy, it's just not. Yeah, a bit of a poor week from us. 1956, and we continue to unfortunately slide down the rankings. Some negatives for me this week. Fortunately, I have copped one of these bullets, and I have the past few weeks, to be honest. 𝐻𝐿𝐼. Have a look at this start, hey? I kept on praising him, singing his praises week in, week out on these reviews. He was going off. Collingwood game, he looked no good. Then the week before, dominating against the Saints, he goes down the hamstring. And then he plays again, where it's like, should he be playing with this 1 week hamstring injury? And he churns me out of 50 and has lost me about 60k. So, yeah, just gonna have to ride the bumps with him. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It's a bit of luck, a bit of unluckiness at the end of the day. Also, yeah, just some primos not scoring well. Here are my trades. I traded out Rowan Marshall in the end for Jordan Sweet. Decided to hop on Sweet, and as I said in last week's review, I was very close in getting on him the week before, but I decided, well, let's get on Sweet. He can potentially punch me out a few 80 pluses, which he was able to, 88, happy with that, and look to upgrade my team in other areas. But Marshall did score well, but he's still losing a bit of money, so I'll look to bring him back in later while Sweet continues to gain some money. He gained 60k, that's good. And I tried out 𝐬𝐻𝐿𝐼 �mbrossio, who got a 58, so he lost, 24k. And I brought in Jordan Dawson. Very fortunate. I was very close from going Tom Green. If you watched last week's review, I was going to go Green, but I went Dawson in the end. But yeah, just a lot of disappointing scores. Like Tuke Miller had again a really slow second half. Yo's injured. McRae was disappointing. Reid struggled a little bit too. Held sharp at least. Graham was a bit quite close here at a slow start too. But we'll go through the lines. So first play, Nick Dacos. 122. He's in really good form now. Kicked the match winner. Did obviously the live stream for that game. And what a goal it was. What a player. So now he's starting to play with confidence. And good to see him get a bit of a high fantasy score, because he's gotten a few low tons the last few weeks. Harry Sheezel, put the VC on him, and yeah, probably should have probably a little bit naive. I know he was against the Saints, but it has been noted by the media and also Clarko that Sheezel, they are wanting to move Sheezel higher up the ground and playing him more in the midfield. And yeah, sort of did struggle a little bit in finding the footy is what he usually is able to at half back. But we move on. Hayden Younger 125, really good game he had today against Richmond. All the midfielders just had a day out against the Tigers. He was racking up the pill and really got on the inside. He's been really consistent, I think, Young. And yeah, just a clean player as well with it. Yeah, so 𝐻𝐿𝐼, though, is the disappointment. He now has a 5-round average of 86. And the last few weeks he has played well, but he just isn't getting the accumulation for an ideal fantasy pick. So even if he plays this week, you could probably say goodbye to him because he's putting out 80s and stuff, and he's going to lose your money now. 116 break even. He's done the job. It was expected he would finally, pull a hammy or do an injury or something, or do a little niggle like a calf. I'm pretty sure, groin. I'm pretty sure it was. So yeah, he's done the job. Can't complain too much. So we looped Roberts 49, and we fielded Howes for 1 more point. Get in. We take that. Sam 𝐼𝐿𝐼 with a 65. A bit of a sluggish start, but got into the game more. Played a little bit of half back as well to cover a bit of injuries they had. The Suns. Who was it again? Oh, no, sorry. Flanders moved into the midfield because I needed to change something. And then, yeah, 𝐻𝐿𝐼 shifted back a little bit. Jordan Dawson got a ton. So, yeah, went with him this week. And, yeah, again, he was playing on the wing. He was playing forward. So, it was a little bit annoying. But how he can still find a way to ton up is good. I mean, he's been a good fantasy player so far this year. 108 average. So, yeah, should be a good player in the long run. Jack Steele got 100. So, yeah, good. It's passable. They were playing North this week, but still just does not look 100%. But he sacrificed his game a little bit, I felt. They got on the ball. They got a lot of ball on the outside of the Saints, but yeah, he was tackling all right. Just didn't really get many marks. I mean, how many did he get? He got he actually got 5 then. But he looked okay there out there. So who they got? Yeah, they've got the Hawks again. They've got the Hawks this week, so hopefully he can put out another nice score. Nick Martin got a 119. Was on fire early on and sort of slowed down a little bit, but the role is just very good. He's been a really good starting pick for sure. Connor Rosie talked about him, so yeah, unfortunately we're just going to have to cop that and move on. Could train him out, but with the money I've held, I can just hold him for the week. He probably should just only be out for the week, you'd think. 𝐷𝐞 Miller, disappointing. Was really good in the first half, and this is what's been disappointing about 𝐷𝐞. He's done this every game, pretty much. He's on the cusp for a very, very big score, and then he just dies out a little bit. I just don't think now when looking at it, 𝐷𝐞's like the 2021 version of himself. He's still an important player to how they go, but he's just not that ceiling guy I probably would have originally thought. But Gold Coast did struggle. I mean, Rao was really bad. Oh, not bad, but he was disappointing as well, Rao. And Anderson was a little bit quiet too. They were just beaten well by Brisbane. So, yeah, who they got next week? They're up in Darwin, so that should suit them nicely against North Melbourne, let's hope. Riley Bonner got an 87, so yeah, happy with that. It was always going to be a high-scoring day for the Saints against North, so yeah, he filled up his points. Sinclair went off to Wangani Miller, I think, turned up. Will Graham got a 56, started the game well. Yeah, you know, he's going to have sort of up and down games, but he's still going to make money. And yeah, he's just going to have to be in my field for a little bit longer. But yeah, I really like the way he tackles. Jeremy Sharp was a successful hold for this week, so happy with that. He's made me a little bit more money. So yeah, 86, got a lot of marks. I think it was like 10 or 11. Yeah, 10. Richmond just allowed Fremantle to move the ball freely so easily. Like Luke Ryan almost got a double ton in SuperCoach. So yeah, everybody scored well for the Dockers pretty much. Hard to hold Gallagher, so didn't beat his break even, and Lazaro obviously dropped for last week, or now the past weekend of results. So Captain Gawn for the ruck, and oh geez, he started off a bit slow, but had a massive final quarter, so at least salvaged his way to a 92. But I was actually going to captain Flanders if it wasn't Gawn, so yeah, I only lost out on 12 points there. Jordan Sweet, I thought was pretty good. Versing Riley O'Brien's going to be always a tough matchup with hitouts, and he only lost it by like 11 or 12, I'm pretty sure. So I'll take that. He had some nice tackles, was able to grab it out of the ruck a few times. They've got the Cats this week down there at 𝐵HBA, so the small ground I think could really suit him. And they've been giving up points as well, Ruckman. So yeah, I think he could score well this week. I think they play Friday night. For the forwards, Isaac Heaney got a 99, but again was very good to watch. I think he's yet to actually hit 30 disposals this season. Yeah, he had 26 and a goal, so he missed a few opportunities, so he could have turned up. But 2 weeks in a row now he hasn't turned up, and he's losing a little bit of money. But given how bad the forwards are, you just have to continue to obviously field him. He's doing the job. As a forward primo. Sam Flanders now moving on, 104. Could have gotten a little bit of a higher score, but gave away a few frees and was on the bench for a little bit, I think, in that final quarter. But yeah, I really like watching him play. I thought he was one of the few Gold Coast individuals today who gave it a really good crack, and I think he's having a really impressive season individual-wise. Tom Powell is definitely a worry for sure. 71. Even when he was scoring well when we all brought him in, he was just struggling to find the footy. He always has been the past few weeks, and I feel like his intensity has been quite ordinary too. So he's lost 30k. He had 50% CBAs though this week, so that's an improvement. He just had a bad game himself, really. So I just have to continue to hold him because, I've got other issues. So yeah, let's hope he can put out a cheeky ton. Maybe we're due for a good score from him. Jack McRae was very disappointing. 66. The TOG was terrible. Had 2 bench rotations or quarter. Got 0 marks too, so that's probably why he scored so bad. So if he had 3 or 4, I mean that's an 80 plus, which is acceptable. But they've got the Tigers this week, so he could score well. But the Bulldogs are very disappointing. They were just lethargic, and really Bont was the only mid that led the Lions, and McRae was just jogging around. So yeah, I could have gone Myers. Dylan Moore I was considering too. He went off, so yeah, no good this week. Let's hope for a bounce back. Harley Reid, 55. Quiet start he had. So he's still a first-year player. He's going to have up and down games. So yeah, did struggle to find the football a bit, but had some nice stiff arms though on 𝐻𝐷𝐿 and 𝐸𝐿. So that's a bit of a highlight for him. But yeah, he's just not a good fantasy player. So maybe I'll target a forward very soon. But this guy's a bit of a saving grace. Darcy Wilson, a ton. Brilliant game. He's a special player for the Saints. A really good player overhead. Just such clean skills. Works hard. And I've been saying week in, week out, he's starting to now really grow into the role. So maybe he could be the 𝐓𝐶𝐞 for the next couple of weeks. So now his round 5 average is 80, 84. So he's good enough to field for now. So happy with that. A cash cow that I'm pretty also content with is Kyle Lyman, got an 82. But look at his TOG though. With the 2 bench rotations I had with all that unfortunate Brisbane carnage, he had a 95% time on ground, so it helped him to get to a nice 82. So yeah, that'll help because our bench options and our cash generation is a bit flaky at the moment. Same also with Aaron Cadman. Started off really well, but yeah, it did sort of die out of the game. Didn't beat his break even, but held value. And then yeah, Garcia, yeah, probably. I mean, the other option for me was Hardiman, so yeah, he got subbed out too. So the rookies are just a bit of a head scratcher at the moment. Yeah, I thought Darcy Jones played alright, but he didn't really score that great. So yeah, but he yeah, 47. So everybody brought him in. But yeah, that's what the team's looking like. 1956, disappointing score. The Primos didn't score well, and yeah, we're starting to slip down the ranks a little bit. But fortunately, with the cash that we got down to Jordan from Marshall, we've gained a bit of value from that, and we've carried over a bit of money. So the trades that we're going to do this week, Elliot Yeo is going to be out, and we are going to be bringing back in 𝐲𝐶𝐶. Now, I was really close from bringing in 𝐸𝐸 last week, but I think the role's there now. They'll continue to play 𝐲𝐿, you'd think, high up the ground. I wanted to see how he'd go with Fisher too back there, but he was good. Got a 99. Got, yes, a handful of kick-ins, but North are just going to get, you'd think, destroyed every week. So they're going to get a lot of ball at the back half. I mean, alongside Fisher, he's pretty much just patrolling that back line. He's clean with it. He just finds a lot of footy. He's just getting those outside scraps too. He's a smart player. He's a good kick. He got like a 130 in SuperCoach as well. But look at the numbers, though, when he's played halfback. So he played halfback this game, this game, this game, this game, and then this game. So that's about a 90 average. So, and it's like a 97 or something I calculated in SuperCoach. So for him at 539k, I think that's priced at around 60, I'd say. Let's bring him in, and he can make us some money, and he can just stay at D6 for the next couple of weeks. So yeah, it's a bit of a risky one though, because if he doesn't score well, I've just sunk all my time into a play that's 500k. But he's looking really good. Then he start taking some risks now. So I think he can score well, make money, and just sit in my back line. And then we're going to be trading out Harvey Gallagher with the catch we've saved over, so we can actually go a bit of a dead rookie up to a gun. Welcome, big boy 𝐸𝐸. I was considering him also alongside Dawson last week, but I felt, well, he has the Tigers, and you never know, Marlon Pickett might put a bit of attention into him, like he did to Petrarca the week before. No, that did not happen. He went off. He was marking everything. It felt like nobody was on him. Richmond just could not close down their midfielders. So he actually gained money. But yeah, we'll bring him in. He's got the Swannies, so he usually plays well against us. And this allows us to hold 𝐻𝐿𝐿, which I think he should be out just for this week because he's got a big turnaround. He plays the next Port game after this week against the Casts is Sunday against the Hawks, and then he's got North the week after. So that's a good matchup looking like for 𝐻𝐿𝐿. So that's what it's looking like though for fantasy. That's what the trade's going to be. 1956, as I say again, not the greatest score, but let's hope for a bit of a bounce back next week. Okay, so moving on now to my SuperCoach team, and very, very lucky this week. I managed to pretty much avoid all the carnage. I didn't have Yeo, I didn't have Whitfield, I didn't have Rosie, I didn't have Fife. Very fortunate I was this week, and we managed to get ourselves a 2,347 ranked in the top 1%, and we are back in the top 1%. Season rank now 1,244. So we move across now to the team, and yeah, I still think our team isn't in the greatest spot. We've just got to start getting primos in. Yeah, pretty lucky. It must be said. Our trades were D'Ambrosio and also what was the other play? Cadman. all the players out, and we brought in, of course, Jordan Sweet and Dawson too, just like fantasy. So pretty much the same traits as fantasy. Yeah. So Dawson was again a little bit disappointing. He had like a 70-point second half. Sorry. So salvaged his score a little bit, but it was value, so I didn't mind it. And he's got a good fixture coming up. He plays a lot of games at Adelaide Oval this year, and he's a consistent player too. So hoping he can now churn out some big scores for me. But speaking of big scores, Luke Ryan, unbelievable. I'm sorry, but if you don't own this guy, I do feel for you. He plays the most simplest style of football: grab it, kick it long, gets points. I don't know how he does it. He's just a cheat code. Could have double done, but of course we'll take the 197. Crazy stuff. Well done to the people that captained him too. But the captains were just the same as fantasy. I don't really think it through with 𝐓𝐡𝐿, to be honest. I was considering Dacos. I went Gawn. Massive last quarter he had, so I'll definitely take that from the big Gawn. So Nick Dacos with the 150. So the last 3 weeks now he is on fire, I think, isn't he? Yeah, look at those scores. He's back. I mean, look at these. Yeah, wow. Apart from the Saints game, he's basically looking like a top liner, so we love to see it from Dakes. Just changed the game. And that goal again, just special stuff from a special player. 𝐓𝐡𝐿 with a 73. So, I think a few eccentric coaches will be definitely considering training at 𝐓𝐡𝐿. Don't get me wrong. His new sort of midfield role and pushing up the ground might not suit him too much with scoring well in fantasy and SuperCoach, but I can't really afford to train him out at the moment. Just got to stick fat with him. Still a good player. Dan Houston got a 93, so that's his first score under 100 for the season. I mean, I can't complain. He's been a very good starting pick. Sam Closey got a 43, so I lost out there. 16 points instead of going. I should have went Graham in the end. I actually switched 5 minutes to go until that game, so that's a bit of a disappointment, but I can't complain too much. Howe's got a 48, so lost 2 points there on Roberts. What a shame. Moving on to the midfield now, 𝐵𝑜NTEMPELLE, tried to carry his team over the line. He started slow, but had a lot of goal assists. His use inside 50 was very good, I felt. It was sort of more of a Bont game. Just his foot skills and his decision making was very damaging. Zach Butter's got a 124. Again, another slow start, but with Rosie out of the game, he really got into it. Just love his attack on the football. And even when the chips were down with a lot of Port players, he just kept on burrowing his head in and trying to create some play or try and open space and take the game on. So he's a good player to watch. Sam Walsh got a 91. Disappointing. I think he was on this 3/4 time, so we're all expecting a nice 120 from him, but the training of Walsh has not been ideal so far, but at least he isn't injured. That's the important thing. But had 34, 33 touches, but just wasn't very effective with it. So let's hope for a bounce back. Went over Dawson. 𝐓𝐿𝐿 Miller, again, was disappointing. He's been better in SuperCoach because of his contested game, but just couldn't rack up the footy in the second half. Whilst Gold Coast were gallant, they did mount a comeback, but he just couldn't get his hands on it. Jack Steele, I'll definitely decide to hold him, and I'll definitely cop a 112. They did verse North Melbourne, though, but they got the Hawks again this week, so if he can go big again, he can lower that break even and not leak too much cash. Riley Bonner was good, a 98. Finally, the first game he's actually scored higher than he does in fantasy. His game, I honestly thought was good. He intercepted well. He went by foot well. He had some nice defensive acts. So I'm happy with that. And he's now up to 400k. So what a beauty he's been as a starting pick. I'll move him to my defense for this week. And they've got Hawthorn too. So he could rack up a lot of uncontested ball. Darcy Wilson, just a superstar. He was so good overhead. Like the marks inside 50 he was able to do, and also push up the ground was special to watch. He missed a few chances of goal as well. He could have honestly gotten higher than this. So definitely happy with that. And what's his break even now? He's gained 58k, negative 25 break even. He's going to go up to 400 for sure. Will Graham got a 59, just continues to make cash, and he's going to have up and down games with scoring, but I still like the look of him. Garcia got a 56, again the top was low and played a lot forward. Don't know about his job security though. Dow could be coming back in, Liam Henry could make way, there could be a few in and outs for the Saints this week, who knows. Max Gawn put the C on him. So, yeah, very, very fortunate. Very happy he was able to salvage his score. Went beast mode in that final quarter. Grundy, really happy with holding him too. I know a lot of people would have traded out Grundy to Sweet, and yeah, you lost 70 points and you would have been able to balance your team well, but you still got to take a 143 for sure. He dominated the SCG. Briggs had the better of him though at quarter time, but after the first quarter, just his ground level stuff was amazing. He's been so good for us with his ground level work and his tackling out 11 tackles. So yeah, loved his game. And yeah, Jordan Sweet's gained some nice money, and his break even is negative 71. Forward line now, 𝐼𝐴𝐶𝐞 109. It was a little bit inaccurate in front of the goals, but still his game very, very good. I thought the midfielders for the Swans just gelled together so well. Warner and Goulden and Rowbottom all actually scored pretty well with Fantasy and SuperCoach scoring. Sam Flannery was much better by foot this week. He got himself a 128. Yeah, just much more neater with his disposal, and moved into the midfield after half-time when Gold Coast needed to put on the score. And yeah, he was one of the players that just kept on fighting right till the end, I think, for the Suns against the Lions for sure. Jack McRae got an 81. Slow start from him, but fortunately did get a nice boost with the scaling. He had some important touches, important clearances, so that helped himself to get to an 81, but still his togs are concerned, and he's just doesn't demand the footy as much as back in his prime. Harley Reid got a 59. Yeah, disappointing score, but you know, a lot of people had him on field, and he still gained us a lot of money, like 435k. We can look to move him on if he just churns out bad scores, but he's a start. Let's hope for a bounce back. Tom Powell was disappointing, most definitely, 72, and I could probably look to move him on, to be honest. I am going to be considering it. He's just going to be leaking money. He's lost us 19k. Let's try and get rid of him, because if he's going to churn out 70s, I might as well just fill Darcy Wilson, to be honest, because he's scoring the same. In fact, Tom Powell's free-round average is 64, and Wilson's is 94. So let's put him on the field and just get rid of Powell, I reckon. And we're in a fortunate spot because we don't have any injuries. We don't have Yo, we don't have Rosie. So yeah, we are in a bit of a lucky spot. Sam Darcy got a 49, so that's what you're going to get with Darcy, high and low scores. And unfortunately this week it was a bit of a low one. Had a lot of drop marks though, so he could have gotten a bit of a better score. Big and Neil was dropped, which was a bit of a shame. The week after I traded him in, I just felt this was not a good trade in, and there you go. But at least we saw a price rise with him. So, yeah, very fortunate score this week. I don't want to, look at my season rank and think, I'm the absolute king of the jungle, because I need to still upgrade my team. I feel like I'm still a little bit behind. But with no injuries, I can take advantage a little bit on the competition, I do think. So, first trade, I'm going to be getting rid of Tom Powell. He's just got to go, in my opinion. He's scoring 70s and 80s. I just don't think he's needed. So, let's put Wilson on field. I'm happy with fielding him. As we saw again, 3-hour average is 94 at the moment. I've got the Hawks this week, so he could go well once again. And we're going to be bringing in 𝐬𝐿𝐵 𝐸𝐿, just like Fantasy, because that role is looking good with not much 𝐼𝐿𝐵. And when he's played halfback, he's averaged 97, I saw. Around 97 his numbers, so he could be one to field at like D7 or M9 for the rest of the year too. So let's get him at 300k. His break even is negative 61, so he'll go to 400k, you'd think. Yes, he's got a round 12 buy, but I don't have Green, I don't have Whitfield, so I can afford to bring in a round 12 player for sure. So I'll bring him in, and then what we can do is we can move Bonner to defence. Sorry about that, didn't mean to trade him. We can move Bonner to defence, and then we can move 𝐸𝐸 to defence. And that's just our back line there for now. Obviously, 𝐸𝐸 and Bonner, you wouldn't say are keepers, but Bonner's going well at the moment, and we can definitely look to upgrade him to maybe like a Nick Martin. Or Tom Stewart's really come down as of late too, so we can consider him as well. And then, yeah, next trade, Matty Roberts. Don't really need him anymore. Yeah, he could churn out some 80s and stuff, but let's get rid of him and bring in Clayton Oliver. I think he's back. He had a really good game on the weekends. He's building match fitness, so really he should continue to score well as the season goes on, game by game. He's improving his fitness. The hand troubles are a bit of a less of a worry too. So I'm happy bringing in Clary for 476k. Like, unbelievable. Roberts and Oliver are, 70k in between each other, whilst at the start of the season they were like 500k. Like, crazy how this season has gone so far. So I think that's a steal. And with those trades, we continue to save our boosts. So do we use a boost? Maybe we could bring in a rookie, but there's not really many rookies banging on the door at the moment for selection. We'll have a look at Bruce Reveal though. He'll be on the bubble next week, and he could score well. He looked really impressive against the Suns. But that's what we're going to look like. So we are going to be fielding. Well, would you call 𝐼𝐿 and Bonner rookies? I don't think so at the moment. We'll loop. We'll probably go Graham on the field actually instead of 𝐓𝐿𝐼𝐶. We're fielding 4 rookies at the moment, so I don't mind that too much. I think that's okay. Let's now have a quick look at my Riles Macca SuperCoach and Fantasy League leaderboard updates. The highest scorer, or sorry, the highest player overall in my SuperCoach league is again 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶. His overrank is 334, so still sitting very high up there. You'll love to see it. Midfielders went off for him, and also had green too, so 21.48, not bad considering he had some carnage. 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿 does sting for him too. Had the Sion gone, Sarong was fantastic. Sorry, I thought that was 5 for a sec, but yeah, Simpson he decided to bring in early. Garcia was okay, but I thought his impact was quite poor, to be honest, for the doggies. Nick Martin was very good, and again for me, that's a bit of a bad trade out from myself, so I could look to bring him back in. Yeah, held 5, so maybe he could look to move him on. Who else is there? Draper at least bounced back after a poor score last week. I think he got injured. So yeah, not bad from 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶. Let's hope he can bounce back. And then for who was the highest point scorer of the week, it was Tom Green 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐿, assuming he has Tom Green in his team. He got a 23.60, so very good. It was a tough round to score well with a lot of carnage. So even with a 5 on field with Green, 23.60, he scored better than me. Bloody hell. But Cherry went off for him. He brought in Sweet, I'm assuming. Nat Fife had to bench him. Wilson went off for him. Had the loop on him. We love to see it. Combin, bit of a trap pick though, unfortunately. Sam Darcy as well was low. Flanders and Heaney, everybody has them in their forward line. Midfield, Sion Sarong, that's good. That definitely helped his scoring. Bontempelli was great too. Lukey Ryan, if you wanted to have a good round, you had to own him too. And now across to the Fantasy League leaderboard update. We have a new overall leader of 𝐼𝐿𝐼𝐶 𝐶𝐿. Let's have a look at his team. 477th overall. You'll love to see it. He got a 21.67. Did he have 𝐸𝐸? No, he didn't, but he brought in Dylan Moore. That's a very smart in. Yeah, I was considering him, but who needs him when you've got bloody Jack McRae? 116, he was very good with his work rate. Had high time on ground too. In fact, let's just go to round 8. Sorry, there we go. That's better. Yeah, some good scores here. Defence went well. Obviously, copped Yo, but Bailey Dowell, he also brought in 2. Midfielders looking pretty schmick. Bonner on field for him. He got Wilson's score. He held it sharp too. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. He could have fielded sharp over Graham there. Gordon Cherry looking like the 2 ideal ruckmen as well. Flanders and Heaney, Moore, very good too. So yeah, those are some good ends. Well done to Moore and Dale on your team. So everyone, there is my fantasy and SuperCoach review video for round 8. So yeah, a lot of carnage this weekend. So let me know how you lot went down below in the comments. What are you going to be doing for your trades? Love to hear your people's opinions down below in the comments, and feel free to ask me some questions too. I'd love to answer some of them. So hopefully you did enjoy, everybody, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, fellas.